Today's adventure for the Next Level Life started today at Venice Beach, and then we worked our way through Malibu. Just another random trip with just me and my kids. We just decided to just take the day off. They're on spring break. So today I want to talk to you guys about change. Changing not who you are as a person, but changing some of the things that we tend to do in life that kind of just lead us into wrong directions, you know? A lot of times people just continue to do the same patterns over and over and over and over, and they don't seem to just get far. They don't seem to get where they want to get or achieve the goals that they want to achieve. And sometimes we tend to just do things repetitive, you know, but we refuse to grow. I'm one of those people that sometimes has a hard time accepting change. And it wasn't until, you know, a lot of things started to change in my own life and go in the wrong direction that it made me open my eyes as to, you know, making some changes in my own life. And beginning of this year, 2018, I decided to pursue growth, make changes in life. And initially it was about growth in business and one of my businesses. And so I decided, you know, to start looking a little bit more into it, but I didn't realize that I myself needed to grow. I needed a lot of change in my own life. And you know, you can't grow in a business until you grow personally as a person. So I started this thing, you know, Growth 2018 in the beginning of the year without really having any direction where I wanted to go with it. And then as time has passed, you know, it's progressed, and it's like everything starts to come to me. Everything's starting to come to me, like where I needed to change, what I needed to change, educating myself, reading books, you know, following leaders that are pretty successful, and just reading, you know, their stories and you know, my faith and prayer and growing as a Christian. You know, all of that has basically taken me into a whole different direction, which is change. And so my whole purpose now that I feel is just to change a lot of bad behavior. You know, as a father, I was doing a lot of things wrong, and you know, we're never perfect parents, and you know, I'm not a perfect dad, but you know, I want to be a better dad and make better decisions as a I keep saying this, as a future husband, as a dad, as a businessman, as a man in general, just be a better person. And so everything that I've set out to do is just for change, growth. You got to repeat that to yourself, growth. And how do you want to grow? Where do you want to grow? You got to identify exactly what it is that you want to grow in your own life. You know, do you just pick one thing per week if you need to, and you have to identify what it is that you want to change, and then figure out how it is that you're going to change it. And then you have to spend time every day, at least 1 hour. John Maxwell tells you, you know, in one of his books, that you have to spend at least 1 hour a day practicing what it is that you want to achieve, or the kind of change that you want to achieve. So for example, I want to be a better parent, so I went to a parent conference. I spend time checking myself, how I talk to my kids, my own language. You know, I want to be a better businessman, so how do I do that? So I dedicate a little bit of time into my business, at least 1 hour per day. But once I identify what the exact goal is, then I'm able to make those changes. And anybody can do this. You can do this. This isn't something that's, you know, oh, you know, I have to sign up for this crazy, you know, course that I have to learn. You know, you can learn if you educate yourself. There's YouTube videos. There's you know, all types of resources for you just to figure out how to change as a person. And you know what? Not everybody wants to change. And I'll tell you this, to people who have a partner, a friend, a family member that just doesn't want to change in their life, you're not going to force them to change. So all you can do is just be the change, be the example that your family, your friends, your kids, your spouse, you know, anyone that you feel needs some change in your life, they're going to adapt and change with you. And if they don't, then they don't belong in your life. They don't belong to be in your circle, in your life. So don't attach yourself. And it's hard because, you know, we have a lot of toxic family members, a lot of toxic friends, you know, that we can't just let go of, which is understandable. But, you know, in order for everyone around you to adapt, you have to be the change. You have to be able to know how to recognize people emotionally triggering you, for example, or just setting you off. And instead of allowing them to do that, be able to have control over yourself, to be able to check yourself, to stop in the moment and catch yourself when someone else is projecting their negativity, their toxic vibes, you know, whatever you may want to call it, whatever it is that's bringing you down, you know, you change that. You change yourself, and then you'll see that people around you will start to change. For example, with myself, you know, I've been a mess, not horrible mess, but, you know, I've been dealing with anxiety, depression, and for the last few months, I've been really focusing on trying to change myself as who I am, because it affected my relationship, it affected my relationship with my kids, it affected my relationship with God. You know, I carry this negative vibe, and I'm a very powerful being. So when I'm in a negative mood, I project a dark energy, so I just seclude myself away from everyone. But I got kids to raise. You know, I'm a single father raising my 2 boys by myself. There's no getting away from that. And so by me being the change, now we're out here taking these, you know, random trips, these random adventures, doing different things, you know, things that I would never do because I was stuck in the darkness, stuck in my room, keeping myself away from everyone because I don't want to deal with the depression. I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to deal with anxiety, you know, and a lot of it has been my faith, my pursuit for change, because yes, anyone can change as long as they want to. If you want it bad enough, you're going to have it. And so I've changed. I know I've changed, and I don't have to prove it to absolutely anyone, you know, because I see it in my kids' faces. You know, we're out here on our random adventures and they're happy. And my little one, which I've had a hard time with, is super loving, super happy, not making this trip impossible. Why? Because dad changed. So dad changed, and he's leading by example. So now everyone in my circle is also changing, not because of me, but they're changing because it's a positive influence, because we can all change. You can change if you truly want to change. I don't care what anyone says. Don't put obstacles, don't put excuses, don't tell yourself why you can't, and tell yourself why you can and why you should. There's no other reason to be stuck in a certain place. You should not be stuck being the same person for the last 20 years, because we have to change. And if you're one of those people that says, I don't like change, well, too bad. It's your life around you is going to change, and if you don't adapt quick, you're going to get left behind and you're going to be stuck. You know, and so I tell you this from personal experience. Yes, you can change. Yes, people can change. You can't force them to change. They need to change on their own terms. But if you're the example, then yes, you be the change. You be what your friends, what your family, what your spouse, what your kids need. And watch, as soon as you start to change into a positive way, they will follow along. They will see what you're doing. Why? Because we are the leaders, and if you're a leader, you're going to create more leaders, that's for sure. And they're going to teach this and project it on and on and on and on. And I'm telling you, as a parent, that's very important. That's extremely important to be. It's extremely important to be able to lead your kids into success. Success is not always financial. Success is always just building great human beings, building, you know, future leaders, you know. And so find ways to change. I'll be posting different ways of change depending on what it is that you're dealing with, whether it's heartbreak, financial. My point is to educate myself, to be able to educate you, the reader or the viewer. And, you know, hopefully by me changing my own life and publicly putting it out there and exposing a lot of my life, a lot of my truths, you know, I can be able to show you that you can do it too. And that's my purpose on the Next Level Life. So hopefully you check out the next videos, and hopefully whatever I'm telling you doesn't sound like craziness. And, you know, we're just here to help. I'm just here to pass a good word. So hopefully, you know, I can help you with anything that you may need. If you have any questions, my email's below. You'll see all my contact information. Just follow us on social media. Thanks again for checking it out, and I hope you guys are staying blessed. Love you guys.